In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a Tinkercad breadboard step by step so you can build cleaner circuits, understand the power rails, and wire your components the right way inside Tinkercad Circuits. If this tutorial helps you, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more easy software and electronics guides. Alright, let's jump in. First, open Tinkercad and go to Circuits. Once you're inside the workspace, drag a breadboard small onto the canvas. This is the main part of your prototype setup, and it's where you'll place components like LEDs, resistors, switches, and wires. Now, take a moment to understand how the breadboard works. At the very top and bottom, you'll see the long horizontal rows, usually marked with plus and minus signs. These are called the power rails. The important thing to remember is that the power rails connect horizontally across the board. That means every hole along that rail is linked together, which makes it easy to distribute power and ground to different parts of your circuit. In the middle section, the layout is different. The holes are grouped into vertical columns, and those columns are connected in sets. This is where your components will go. So if you place a component into the breadboard, you want to make sure its legs are going into separate connected rows or columns correctly. Otherwise, you could accidentally short the circuit or connect things the wrong way. Next, let's connect a power source. Drag a 9-volt battery onto the workspace. Then connect the positive terminal of the battery to the red power rail. After that, connect the negative terminal to the black or blue rail. This gives your breadboard a clear power and ground path, which is the foundation of almost every simple circuit you'll build. Now it's time to plunce. Drag an LED and a resistor into the center of the breadboard, where the terminal strips are located. This is very important. Don't place both legs of the component into the same connected section, because then the current won't travel through the part the way you want it to. For example, the LED should have its legs in different columns, and the resistor should also be positioned so it bridges the connection properly. If you're wondering why the resistor is needed, it's because an LED can be damaged if too much current flows through it. The resistor limits the current and protects the LED. That's one of the most important rules when building circuits on a breadboard, whether you're using Tinkercad or a real physical board. Now let's bridge the connections. Start by running a wire from the red positive rail to the column where your resistor is connected. Then connect the other end of the resistor to the column that contains the LED's anode, which is the bent leg of the LED. After that, connect the LED's cathode, which is the straight leg, back to the black or blue ground rail. At this point, your circuit should be complete. You've created a path for electricity to flow from the battery, through the positive rail, through the resistor, through the LED, and back to ground. That closed loop is what allows the LED to light up. Before you test it, take a second to double-check the layout. Make sure the battery polarity is correct, the LED is facing the right direction, and the resistor is actually in series with the LED. A lot of beginners make small placement mistakes on the breadboard, and those tiny errors can stop the circuit from working. So if something doesn't light up right away, recheck the breadboard connections carefully. Now click Start Simulation in the top right corner. If everything is wired correctly, the LED should light up. That means your breadboard setup is working exactly as intended. This simple example is a great foundation for learning more advanced Tinkercad circuits later. Once you understand how the rails, terminal strips, and component placement work, you can start building much more complex projects with buttons, sensors, buzzers, and microcontrollers. So that's how to use a Tinkercad breadboard in a simple and organized way. If this video helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.